soon as possible. Again, the number for sandbags is 1-800-675-HELP. That's the same number you can call for any debris advice. And then as it starts to rain, I want to mention to everybody, while we don't expect to have to evacuate or recommend evacuations to the sheriff, we do want residents to not drive in the streets during rain, to remain at home if at all possible during rain, especially in those areas that are impacted by burn. Now I'd like to introduce Todd Hall, the Senior Meteorologist for the National Weather Service.
Good morning. My name is Todd Hall. I'm a Senior Meteorologist for the National Weather Service. Let me fix this here. How do I fix that? Okay. First off, our hearts go out to all the families and residents and businesses that have been affected by this tragedy. Driving in today, I witnessed that firsthand, and I came in from Oxnard today. Part of our mission is protection of life and property, and our team of people, our great team of people working out of Oxnard, California, are dedicated to this mission of protecting life and property. Overall, with this storm, there's a high likelihood that this storm will just bring a light to an occasionally moderate beneficial rain to the area. But there is a 10 to 20% chance that we could see those higher rates that Mark just mentioned. We could see a 10 to 20% of the higher intensity rates that could cause flash flooding and mud and debris flows. If a flood watch, in the event that any flood watch is issued for any burn scar, and right now we don't anticipate that, but if any burn scar, including the Palisades, Franklin, or Eaton burn areas, it means that there is greater than a 50% chance of flash flooding and mud and debris flows on any given portion of that burn scar. We do not exactly know where the debris flows will occur on the burn scar at that point, but we will. But in partnerships with local, county, and state federal levels, we have identified the areas of concern in each burn area. If you live in a burn scar, please review the USGS post-fire debris flow hazard assessments. Those are on the USGS website. You can find those just by doing a web search. Flash flooding and mud and debris flows from burn scars can happen rapidly. So a flood watch may be the only warning that you actually receive from these, because they can occur within a matter of minutes. If you are asked to evacuate your home, please do so. We can only, like I said, this could be a rapidly intensifying situation where we could end up and see these higher rates. It's much easier to see fires. It's deceiving because we can see fires coming at us, but we can't see floods. So it's very important. This is a very life-threatening situation when we get into these higher rainfall rates. I do want to point out, in the last 2 decades, we've had a number of debris flows across Southern California. The majority of these have occurred during the overnight hours when people were sleeping. So I want to make sure that people do understand, while we as meteorologists expect only a low chance of this occurring, we do currently have some of our rainfall rates forecast. The most intense rainfall that's with this storm is forecast during the overnight hours. If you live near a recent burn scar and you receive flash flood warnings via media source or a smartphone app, please do not decide to evacuate then. Head to the highest level of your home and shelter in place. And remain there until that warning has either expired or has been canceled. This may be several hours. And lastly, I just want to say, the rainfall rates that are expected with the storm we're expecting any between 1/4 to 1/2 inch per hour at this point, but there still is that 10 to 20% chance that we can see rates much higher than forecast. Thank you.
In closing, it's safe to say we are getting prepared for this storm, and this is your opportunity to get prepared with us. We're happy to take any questions. Yes, we've been working in a collaborated fashion. Our sheriff has been leading with our with Los Angeles Police Department, with CHP, and with Caltrans. And Captain C2 can speak to those discussions. The mayor does not have any authority in the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County, nor does the mayor have authority in the area of Malibu. And so I think that's what caused the confusion. As soon as that announcement went out, officials in those areas reached out to our office to get that clear communication. And so our residents deserve clear communication, which is why we clarified that. We proceeded with the opening of the county-led areas on the PCH for the reasons that I mentioned. We want to make sure that we aren't running into any issues first thing on Monday morning. And this is the result of many days of planning and coordination with our state and local partners. And I believe our captain can speak to any further details that have been in place to ensure that people are safe, that this is a coordinated effort, and that we are protecting residents. That is really what this is about. We have heard from our community residents who need this kind of access, and that's essential to deliver that support for them in this very difficult time. That's right. We worked to be in unison, and we will continue to work to be in unison. The county will continue to lead in these efforts and work to bring people together to ensure that people are safe and coordinated through each of these efforts. Captain, would you like to add anything else?
Have you spoken to the mayor since she came out with that latest statement last night? Have you spoken to her at all?
I haven't.
Yes, so this is something that we've been working with the community with, just day to day, trying to get residents their passes in order to get through heartbreaking stories about chemo treatments in Santa Monica. I know we have a council member here with us right now, Halen Conrad, and we've been working hand in hand with our elderly population and just these individuals that need to get through. So we want to open up the roads as soon as possible in order for people to actually get through, get what they need, get our kids back in our schools and our small businesses. Our small businesses here are really struggling. And so we want to open up the roads, and how we do that is what we do for each fire. It's called a repopulation meeting, where all the entities come together, whether it's utilities, roads, health department, all the officials come together, and we ask, does anybody support this plan? And that's how we move forward in a collaborative effort. And so, PCH, and as you can tell, this is not going to be perfect for a while. But we're going to do our best. Caltrans says we made it safe, and we're here to open so our residents, our small businesses, our community, and the people in the surrounding areas can get back to what they need to get back to, especially our young kids. I know, Hans, you had a question?
Well, actually, it's direct. You just answered it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a question for Mark. Mark, you were quoted in the LA Times as saying Malibu was using a refusal to expand the water system as a way to control growth. Former mayor wrote a letter to the LA Times saying, "Oh, no, that's not true." Were you misinterpreted by the Times, or has Malibu been slow to expand its water system?
The system in Malibu is Waterworks System 29. Those residents actually own that system as our constituents. And through the years, there's been much debate about the expansion of the system to support development. So I'm not misquoted. There's been times when there's been large support by the real estate community in Malibu who would look for an expansion of that system. The folks in my department are always looking to improve its resiliency and reliance. And as a part of any expansion, we would require that the resiliency, in this case, fire suppression capacity of the system be upgraded along with it.
So how many millions of dollars do you need right now to make that system resilient?
It is millions of dollars, and the number is known. And thank you to Supervisor Horvath, who's been a champion for obtaining those dollars at all different levels of government and locally. She has, from the time she's been in office, she's been pushing us and authorizing us to move to create a more resilient and reliable system in the Malibu.
Do you have a dollar amount?
I don't know that dollar amount right now. I don't want to quote you a number because I know it's over $50 million. I can tell you that.
And have the people of
we haven't taken a vote on that from our constituents. Our constituents pay some of the highest water rates in all of California. So we know about the impact of raising rates on them and having them pay for it. So what we've been doing is responsibly seeking state and federal help, even taking loans from the state to fund those improvements.
Do we have any questions about the debris removal process? Do we have any questions ahead of the rain from reporters before I get to you, council member? Any reporters have questions? Okay, final question from our council member from Malibu.
But I would like to know why Topanga Lagoon and the creek, which is historically proven is an incredibly sensitive environment, was chosen. Why and how was this site chosen for the toxic debris sorting? Because I believe there could be a less environmentally sensitive solution that could be a middle ground that makes sense. And again, thank you for being here.
Thank you for your question. Yes, what you're talking about is our Phase 1 and Phase 2 system for debris removal. Phase 1 includes U.S. EPA removing they called household hazardous materials. The federal U.S. EPA made the choice of that location and is the entity that would be best to answer the question you have.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. We're going to now, if reporters would like to come down and see the debris removal work happening, we can get you suited out with hard hats and vests. And Director Pastrella and the supervisor are going to walk down and look at the work that's underway. So we'll get you suited and then we'll walk down. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thanks for your work. Great partnership with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You were great.